Welcome to Today in AZ, everyone. A very happy Monday to you.
Yeah.
You know what? Crew, look at them.
Mondays are hard. Let's just leave it at that, right? It's been a tough Monday pulling through, but hey, we're here for you. Welcome to Today in AZ. We're talking about something that a lot of people have very different opinions on. I'm glad that you're back in studio because I know that you were out doing Must Eat Monday, and it's going to be interesting to hear what you have to say. So let's just kick it right off. Okay. The country's leading pediatricians are speaking out about the harms of spanking. The American Academy of Pediatrics calling for a ban on corporal punishment because it's ineffective and may affect a child's brain development, which is pretty interesting, right? Ooh. Doctors say spanking does not improve behavior over the long run and may cause more aggressive behaviors. So, moms and dads, or even not moms and dads, anyone who has an opinion on this, we want to hear from you. What do you think about this call for a ban on spankings, and how should you discipline your children?
As you already said, a lot of people weighing in on this. Nesha from South Mountain Corridor says that she was taught that the punishment should fit the crime, so I believe spanking is necessary in some cases, but not all cases. Okay.
I don't know if I like the wording that they put out with this ban. Corporal punishment? Would you consider spanking corporal punishment?
No, that's a little extreme. That's too much to the other side.
I think corporal punishment, I think the death penalty we're going to say.
Exactly, we all think
real
that.
Severe.
Yeah, not spanking, but I grew up in a household where if we got in a lot of trouble, we would spank. Sometimes you put your hand over your mouth, and then your mom would give you a high five. Yeah.
Amy says it's a parent's choice. It's none of their business.
That's another thing.
I was spanked, and I'm more successful than most.
Yeah.
We've got James Hunter out in Phoenix that says spanking is great. Children these days run around acting out, back-talking, disrespecting parents and other elderly people with no consequences. I was raised to respect my parents and others. Timeouts are meaningless.
We had someone who texted in earlier this morning. Again, you can text us or post on Facebook. Post on Facebook might be a little bit easier right now.
Yes, it is.
But someone texted in earlier this morning. She was anonymous. He or she. I don't know who it was. Anyway, they said... They brought kind of a different approach. They said that you shouldn't spank because really spanking is just a result of a parent losing their patience. And in times when I've gotten really upset, it's because I've lost my patience. It doesn't really fit with what my kid did. My kids are 3 and 2.
Sure.
Yeah. Right. And maybe I'm just getting frustrated because I'm tired and I'm, frustrated with the process of parenting because it can be exhausting. So I wonder too if maybe it is just a lack of patience and then spank.
Maybe, but I've seen some parents discipline their kid when they're not frustrated and they did something wrong, and they it's not like a hard spank, or they're not like hitting them. They just spank their little hand. Don't do that again. That's not right. And then they cry maybe a little bit because they know they're in trouble.
I think that at-home punishment's probably come a long way because I know that my grandparents used to talk about, we used to get the wooden spoon or the belt.
Yeah. The belt.
And then now we're just talking about, swatting on the butt. Now if you're getting bent over and spanked, you're in big trouble. At least you were in my household. But if they were trying to catch you while you were running away, then that was a little different. You kind of could get away with it. But some people say timeouts aren't as effective as actually.
I think it just depends on the child too, because I never got spanked growing up, but my parents would raise their voice, and I knew that's when I was in trouble,
so
and it worked.
That's something that my mother-in-law told me too. She says she wishes if she could go back, that she would realize as a parent that it's not like one size fits all. She had 5 kids, and she was the same with every single one. They had the same rules, they had the same, and she was like, that was so wrong. Because Brad, who's my husband, was so different than Craig, who's his brother, and that we should have kind of fixed things and tailored it more to the child rather than the old way, which is just like one size fits all, everyone, this is how it goes. But then you have kids that'll get upset that, their brother got off easy or something like that. So, oh gosh, it's just so hard.
I was raised, I got the belt as well. I'm not, Andrea said hitting children, she believes, leads to increased incident of mental illness. I've seen no facts on this.
The
study said that it could affect brain development. We need to go back and read
could.
more.
I don't know. We do so many studies here on TV. And
viewer from Detroit says, D. Brown says, discipline your child, spank your child. It's not going to stop them from growing or learning. And says it might actually teach them a lesson.
So Kamisha said, you don't discipline when you're frustrated. You calm down first, and then you do it. So that way you don't.
Do you guys remember the Super Nanny? She did a show on ABC a long time ago. She was British. They kind of made her sound like Mary Poppins.
I remember her. She'd go fix kids and stuff.
Yes, she would fix families. One of her biggest things was timeout.
Okay.
But the process of timeout was very different. Like, she would put them in timeout, and then at the end of timeout, they would talk about what went wrong in a very quiet, cool way. Do you understand why you were put in timeout? Do you understand how you can not be put in timeout again?
Sure.
The hard thing is, and so for parents out there who have kids that are my age, 3 and 2, I put them in timeout and I don't think they know what's going on other than just sitting on their bum, for a second, and that's it while they watch mom and the other kid play. So it's tricky at that young of an age to really describe anything. I mean, I try.
And this is blowing up.
Yeah, this is what I loved in elementary school, where they didn't paddle us in elementary school, of course, because that should be up to the parent. In private, they did the light system where they do green light, yellow light, red light.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, and that was good because it was a visual cue for the students, and they would turn your card around to yellow, green, or red, depending on your behavior in class. So the kids knew how you were behaving too. So it was kind of like keeping you in check with your peers, which was a good approach, I think, and then obviously a hands-off approach.
A couple months ago, we had a story about a school that was bringing back, I don't know if it was paddling or if it was spanking.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The principal could spank.
Yeah, the parents could give consent to the teacher.
That to me is crazy to have the school leave it up to their discretion.
Too far.
But at home, I mean, the majority, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy Q, because I know you're looking at this too, the majority of people are saying, spanking is okay.
Amanda says nobody should be told how to correct a child. Nothing wrong with a spanking. Pam says government needs to butt out of how a parent raises a child.
Yeah.
I do agree. I don't know. And then what next? Then what? You don't yell at your kids? Shouldn't yell at them. You should talk to them in a calm voice. Because then the study will show that they'll give them mental illness too.
A lot of people texted in too. There's a humongous difference between spanking and abuse.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're harming your child because, like we said, you're frustrated, you're on edge, or you got some sort of personal issue you're dealing with, and you're taking it out on a child, no, that's not okay. I think everybody can agree with that.
So Raul left a message about the chanclas. So in the
about the chanclas.
So in the Hispanic community, we call flip-flop the chancla. Yeah. So you knew when your parent or your grandparent brought the chancla out, you were in trouble. Yeah. So that was
the meme on social media with the moms practicing throwing flip-flops is so good. I love it. I in South Texas post quite a few of them.
I mean, we have a lot of people chiming in. Yeah. Some people not agreeing with what we're saying.
Yvonne says she's tired of seeing 3-year-olds ruling their parents.
That's true.
I agree with that.
And
I agree with that too.
And kiddos are smart. I mean, they know how to outsmart the parents.
They are smart.
I've seen my siblings do it. We've heard numerous stories about us growing up and outsmarting our parents. So kids are wise to it. They know how to play you, especially play mom against dad or whatever the case may be.
And when it comes to technology too,
sure,
that's the one thing that you can use now maybe instead of swatting. Because back in the day, we didn't have that, right?
Yeah, take those
phones. But now the kids are so addicted to their iPads and their iPhones, and they want to play these games. So when they're in trouble, maybe use that instead. I'm going to take away your phone. I'm going to take away your iPad. But like you said, at the same time, they are smart about it. Because my godchild did this one time. He was in trouble, and so we took the iPad away from him. And we're like, he was pissed. He was blowing up that he didn't have his iPad. So then I said, you cannot get this iPad back until you say sorry to your mother. So he wouldn't say sorry, right? And she was dropping me off. I got out of the car.
I remember that.
And I said, do not give that to him until he says sorry to you. As soon as I got out, he goes, I'm sorry, mommy. So he knew that he would get it back. They're smart.
That's manipulation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I found as a parent, what you need to do, what always works, that I see parents that don't do it, that maybe I failed as well, you have to be consistent.
Agreed.
Okay, you have to be consistent, and when you say something, you have to mean it.
Yeah.
And mom and dad, or if you're a single mom or single dad, doesn't matter. You have to be united with what you say.
Yeah, right.
And every time you have to go with that, not just a kid. Any kid can tear up with the crocodile tears. I'm sorry, apologize. You need to, go straight with it, and they need to know that that's what's going to be coming. I used to treat my son like I was a head football coach, and that would freak him out. I would just get in his face.
That's the thing. We feared my dad, but we weren't scared of him.
Yeah.
We knew he was the disciplinary, and that if mom said, wait till your father gets home, oh boy.
That's huge.
We were like, oh, great.
Yep.
We have a lot
overtime.
Patricia says hitting your child makes them hate you. The best thing you can do is talk about what happened, the choices the child made, and better choices. But Patricia, what if your child is 3?
Patricia, I got spanked by my dad with a belt. I love my dad more than anything, and he taught me the best ever. I'm fine. I don't have any mental issues. I'm not saying to do it or not to. I'm just saying I'm a total example of it. And I was fine. And I got the belt hard. And did I deserve it? Yes.
Well, right. And that's the thing. If you ask kids now, I mean, sure, you ask, 13-year-olds if they want to be spanked, they're going to say, no way, don't do that. But you ask any adult now who's been punished that way, and you say, I really respected my parents for...
Yeah,
I love my
Pam
parents.
says the same
I
thing.
love them
She
to death.
said,
I don't hold anything against them.
Pam said, never hated my parents, got spanked when I needed it, had the best parents ever.
Okay, we need to kind of reset here because we have a lot of people who think that we're parenting experts. We're not.
We're not.
Yeah,
Nope.
We're sharing our opinions.
My son's 24.
And we want to hear your
We'll have 3 children.
You have 3 kids coming up here.
This whole point of this discussion is to talk about what the American Academy of Pediatrics just put out.
Yeah.
They say, according to this new study that they just did, that no one should spank anymore, that spanking should be gone. We're just giving opinions here. Again, American Academy of Pediatrics calling for a ban on corporal punishment because it's ineffective, according to them, and may affect a child's brain development. This is coming from the smartest people when it comes to your child and their behavior.
Yeah.
So again, Andrea, because I know you're very upset with us talking about this. I've got a 3 and a 2-year-old, so I do have children, and yes, we're just trying to figure out what works and what.
And we're sharing our own experiences, what we've experienced, what our parents did, what
Totally.
I don't have kids. I was spanked as a child, and I respect my parents for doing so.
You don't hate your
Now, I'll tell you
parents?
this. Here's the deal. My dad tried a gamut of punishments. Now, let me tell you which one I didn't like. It was when I got tossed in the cold shower with my clothes on because I was arguing with my mother about wanting to wear a certain outfit to school. And she told me no, and I was yelling. So guess what? Would I prefer a spanking over a cold shower? Absolutely. Because cold water hurt you? No, it doesn't.
But that's abuse,
but I would
Rachel.
totally
That's
take
abuse.
a butt paddling over that cold
same thing
shower
with
situation.
me. I'm not saying I don't know which way either. I was spanked and I'm fine. I'm not saying to spank kids. We're just trying to bring up the conversation. We don't know. All I know is from experience of raising a child. I did not spank my son.
You did not?
I did not. I got spanked and I was fine. I did not spank my son, and he probably should have.
So when he was in trouble, what did you do?
Time out, all that other stuff, you know, and then the crocodile tears.
But that's interesting because a lot of people are saying that they spank because that's what happened to them. It happened to you, but you're not doing it.
Nope, didn't do it.
Interesting.
Didn't do it. I think there was a lot of stuff that my dad did that I chose not to do, that I regretted not doing when I became. Yes, big time.
Like what?
My gave too much approval. Like I was trying to build his self-esteem. Everything he did was great. Oh, if you did 5 push-ups, that's awesome. You know, you're trying, you're doing your best. Sure. My dad would say, why didn't you do 10? And if I did 10, my dad would say you didn't do them right enough, you know? Sure. But you know what? That's the way the world works. Yeah. The world gives you approval. You better do something. You better do 20 backflips to get a little bit of approval from your boss or from anything. My dad prepared me for the world.
That's true.
I tried to prepare my son by building his confidence. Instead, it was enablement, you know? It really did.
Yeah, but you have to give yourself a break, though, Jimmy Q, because you were in a hard situation where you were a single parent. You were a single dad, and it was, I mean, goodness gracious, I think anything and everything you did is incredible for that boy. Because
if you can, I say 2 parents.
Yeah. It was out of your control.
Yeah, I really do. You know, but thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me an expert, but yeah, it was just different. Every situation's different. Every kid is different.
Well, like Emma said, every child is a different personality. They're going to respond differently. Maybe my sister getting paddled she didn't respond the same way, and she was a little bit more of a rebel, so maybe she should have been paddled more, or a different punishment altogether.
It's all different. Like Jennifer says, I spank. I don't beat my children, which there's a difference between the two. She said my 3-year-old can go into any restaurant and not act up. It's about proper discipline.
And etiquette and
thanks, Albert.
You know what? And Kathy has a good point too. Let them ban anything they want. Don't tell others how to raise their kids. And you know what, Kathy? Amen to that. Because you can't. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone was raised differently.
Book.
Yeah, and they have their own idea. There is no book.
No.
And boy, wouldn't it be nice if there was? Like, this is exactly how you have
You'd need about $100,000 bucks.
It's impossible
for each kid.
But how about just trying is like you deserve an applause. You know? It is hard.
If you love your children as much as you discipline them when they are acting out or behaving badly, then they'll be fine. And they'll know at the end of the day, you paddled them because they did something wrong, and you still love them, and you hug them just as much, if not more so, and you leave it at that. You love them, but you discipline them so that they respect you and that they're well-raised young adults.
I think most people are like, as Cynthia says, I spanked our kids. They came out wonderful. I think there's a lot of more people out there that have spanked their kids that haven't, but I also respect the ones that haven't, and I'm I'm sure there's a ton of kids that turned out amazing that never got spanked.
Totally.
And there's probably a lot of kids that went off the deep end as well that never got spanked that probably said that.
I like to think
you turned out great.
And you are amazing. Bottom line is that we can't judge other people, but we're just telling you what the American Academy of Pediatrics came out with. They're banning spanking altogether because of things that they say that happens in the long run. They said that it does not improve behavior. They say that it can affect the child's brain development. And they also say that it can cause more aggressive behavior in the child.
Well, like that one comment, it's spanking, not beating. That's two different things. So it depends how you're disciplining it, like how far you're taking it, I think.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I think that's up to the parent, you know? How far, like, did you go too far on that one?
Yeah.
Or is your child really learning anything from this? I think that's something for me that I would want to like think about and talk about with my husband. Are they learning anything from this? Like, are we doing anything that's progressing them? Yeah, is it effective? Was it effective for me? Growing up, yeah, it kind of was. Like, I knew things that I shouldn't do.
Andrea says spanking is beating. I do disagree with you on that one. I don't think spanking is beating. There's the same thing. It all depends on how you're going to do it.
Ken in Mesa says it's not beatings, it's discipline. You just need to set the groundwork. Then you can just give them the look so they know.
Yeah, the look.
My dad would touch his belt.
The look is good.
My dad would touch his belt. That worked.
Like, okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this discussion. We want to get over to our In Case You Missed It segment because one of our favorite people in the Valley, her name is Julia Perugini. She is an incredible baker who is now, come on over, bring her in. Julia is now on Food Network Holiday Baking Championship.
Come in the middle.
It appears tonight on the Food Network.
Here, right over.
It is literally the only reason why I still have cable. Julia, you are famous for your incredible cookies, but the Holiday Baking Championship is much more than just cookies.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you have to do everything. You have to do cakes. You have to do like. Tell me how the competition worked.
Oh my goodness! It's just like you see on TV. You get there, they tell you do this, and you gotta come up with the recipe and the ingredient that they give to you, and it's just such a little time.
How did you describe yourself to the judges? You told us during a break.
Well, I told them that I'm Sofia Vergara of baking. I don't know if they're gonna put this on TV, to be honest, but I like it was funny.
You are originally from Brazil.
Yes.
You moved to the United States, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And you have worked so hard to get to where you are now.
I did, you know, like as any immigrant, you know, I did. I mean, I have like college education in my country. You get here, you nothing. So you start working, you know, any job, and walking dogs, cleaning houses. I was a nanny for a long time. But I chose, you know, I was a personal cook and stuff like that too, working in the Hamptons. And
Madonna's hiring.
How did you learn how to bake?
Well, we grew in Brazil. You don't really go to the bakery to buy anything. Usually, you make it at home.
Okay.
So my grandma, great grandma, everybody, you know. So
that's terrific. Incredible. You said you used a very specific ingredient for this particular segment, one that's very popular during the fall. What was that?
And what you guys are using tonight on the Food Network.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice.
Oh, yes.
Everybody so that was the challenge tonight, then, that people are going to see pumpkin spice.
There you are.
Oh, girl.
So incredible. Julia, to hear your story and to hear the background and where you came from, now you are on the big, it doesn't get bigger for chefs and for bakers. This is the biggest stage on the Food Network. You had 3 producers hounding you to be on the show.
Yeah, they send me a message on Facebook, on Instagram, and email. So
and you can find her on Instagram. It's Julia's Cookies NYC.
Oh, because
make sure you tag the right one.
Are incredible.
Well, and we were talking about these, the pumpkin spice Brazilian cookies.
Yeah.
Here. They're like, what'd you say, Emma?
Tell
little
us what
bites
those
of
are called.
Little clouds.
Alfajores.
Alfajores, but you changed the recipe.
I changed the recipe last night, and then I made them pumpkin spice alfajores.
Instead.
So it's a sandwich cookie. It's very light, crumbled.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. So, but instead, usually, traditionally, it's doce de leite between, and this is actually pumpkin spice brigadeiro, which is brigadeiro is a Brazilian recipe.
Yeah.
Try another one.
I changed.
Try another one.
So I want to know, Julia, how has your life changed since you've been on a few of these reality shows already?
Some people know why. It's weird sometimes.
This is your second time on the Food Network.
Yeah, I have a few times that people like it. I have a few times that people recognize me.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just weird.
Yeah, totally.
But you know, it's just, but everything else is normal, guys. I still
Hope to see your face on a cookie box someday.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Well, it already
Exactly.
is if you order her cookies. Yeah, it is so exciting.
They are delicious too. I ordered some cookies for my mom's birthday party earlier this year, and they were amazing.
Well, you got to go to her Instagram because she doesn't just make cookies. She designs the most ridiculous stuff on top. I mean, you're an artist. You really are. And then on top of that, cakes, cupcakes, the whole deal. She does so much. You're going to be on Arizona Midday later on today as well.
Yes, I'm going to be at.
Okay.
At 1, right? I think it's at 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be here all day, guys. I'm not going.
I know.
I know.
Well,
Can we cut this open?
No.
I know we can't.
We have
We
to
can't.
cut it, but I forgot
till
the
later.
knife. Where's the
Not till
knife?
We'll save it. We'll save it.
man.
All right. Thank you so much. Good
Thank
luck. I
you.
cannot wait to see you. Holiday Baking Championship tonight on Food Network. We got to support. We're now adopting you as our hometown girl.
Yeah.
You okay with that, Julia?
I want to be here forever.
Yes. Your accent does sound a lot like Arizona. I would guess that first.
Buckeye.
Yeah, Buckeye. Julia, thank you so much. Guys, thanks for joining us right here on the Today in AZ After Show.
We doing what's coming up tomorrow?
What is coming up tomorrow?
Election day.
Yep.
We are going to have wall-to-wall coverage. We
Huge.
are not going to sleep until the last vote is counted. We'll have it all here on 12 News, 12news.com, and our Facebook.
Some are saying the biggest election since the 60s.
It's unbelievable.
I think I would agree. All right, guys, get out there and vote. We'll see you tomorrow on Today in AZ.
One more pecan.
Leave it there.
You gotta eat the whole cake. We're gonna open. I have 3 layers, pumpkin pie.
3 layers.
Pumpkin pie cake.